Well, we have you for a limited time today. I do want to talk. You are the Craig from Craigslist.
Yeah.
That is true.
Yes.
Okay. And how did Craigslist start? Like, just I know that's a basic question, but you don't even think about it as a regular human. We don't even know that you're a real. You don't even know.
Yeah, and I occasionally tell people that Craig is fake, like Betty Crocker.
Mm-hmm.
My deal is that I moved to San Francisco mid '93.
Okay.
And I saw there were a lot of people helping each other out on the net. Sometimes doing so, giving away expensive consulting time. And I took advantage of that. People helped me settle in, told me about neighborhoods and restaurants and events that I might get interested in.
So you were communicating on the internet just with people looking for information about living in a new area.
Yeah. A lot of this was from the Well, an early virtual community, some from Usenet news groups, which were the first big deal discussion boards. And there was a spirit that we were all going to use the net to help each other out.
Yeah.
So I thought I should give back, started a simple CC list, telling people about what I thought were cool events, usually arts and technology, like Joe's Digital Diner or the Anon Salon, which was a party fundraiser for a local theater, highly entangled with the very earliest Burning Man.
Oh.
And I never got involved with that because I realized that I'm not a burner at heart.
Yeah.
But this mailing list, it started growing via word of mouth. And I started asking for more stuff than just events, like if people wanted to sell something, if people had a job or an apartment.
So that's how it started. So you started just emailing people just with information about things to do in the area. It started to grow. And it was just an actual list of people you were sending a message to.
Yeah, it was literally an email CC list, and that broke at 240 addresses. I had to use a listserv. I had to give the thing a name. I'm very literal as a nerd. Mm-hmm. I wanted to call it San Francisco Events, since it was still mostly that. Yeah, I don't have much of an imagination.
Well,
but then I was going to call it SF Events. People around me told me they had given it a name, Craigslist.
Ah.
They told me I had accidentally created a brand. Then they explained to me what a brand is, because I was that naive.
Mm-hmm.
They were right. Called it Craigslist. Just kept growing increasingly. For the first 3 years, just me.
And how often was the list going out?
Whenever somebody had something, I would send it out.
Okay. So is that once a week, twice a month?
If I was lucky, it could be, let's say, something worthwhile a few times a day.
Oh, nice. Okay.
The deal is not that big, but let's say high value.
Mm-hmm.
And I was being careful. I didn't want to spam anyone.
Right.
And it just kept growing via word of mouth. And we've never really done any advertising.
Yeah. I've never seen it. Yeah.
Yeah, I should be careful. I'll wrap around to it, but I'm not involved with the thing nowadays.
Mm-hmm.
I'm retired,
mm-hmm.
busier than I've been, but retired.
Mm-hmm.
But the deal is it's just me for a few years.
And you were the only staff member?
Yes.
And what were some of those early high value items? Like what was something that would come across? Are we talking like kind of like a painting? Are we talking like a little catamaran? What are we talking?
Mostly I was thinking about jobs.
Okay.
Because one of the best things you could do for someone is to help them get a job. Sometimes then help them, find a place to live. What Craigslist is about in a lot of ways is helping people put food on the table.
Right. That's a great point. If you can help somebody get a job, it's such a, that's residual.
And it was completely free the first 3 years, but the people who were putting jobs on there wanted me to charge them to post for jobs.
Because they felt indebted in some way?
Well, they felt that they were paying a lot more money for job ads in other places with fewer results, less quality results. So they said, charge us a little bit, that'll pay the bills. And they were right. Experimented a little bit with volunteers and charging for jobs in 98, but I got the idea from people in 97. Running with volunteers didn't work.
What do you mean running with volunteers? You mean to help you?
Yes.
Okay. And at that point, you're just doing it out of your home?
I exactly right.
First 3 years off of your home computer?
Yeah.
And how big did the email list get? Sorry, Craig.
I don't really know how big it got through that time because in 96, I remembered that I'm a programmer. I can write software which turns emails into web pages. And so I started doing that, which gave me web publishing for free.
Okay.
And when something started taking too much of my time, I wrote some more code, which reduced what might take an hour a day to a few minutes a day.
Got it.
And that happened a number of times. But 98, tried running it with volunteers. The people who cared for the thing, who were doing job postings in particular, said, volunteer thing isn't working. Sometimes things would take a while to get posted. So I had to make the thing into a real company.
Right. So at that point, you're like, if I wanted to keep this going, there needs to be some checks and balances, and obviously salaries help create that.
Yeah, I need to hire other people to do coding, customer service, billing. And that meant making it into an actual corporate structure. Again, I made Craigslist into an actual company in 99.
Okay, so that's when it becomes an actual company in 1999.
Yeah.
And at that point, you guys have an office? You guys have...
We turned it from running it in a room in my house into a room in a commercial strip way out in the neighborhoods of San Francisco.
Wow, that's cool.
And the other hard decision I had to make that year, 99, was that I started to realize with help that as a manager, I suck.
Oh yeah, it's hard to be a manager, isn't it?
Very hard.
But you don't realize when once you start to have employees and stuff, you're like, suddenly I'm a boss. And if you never wanted to be a boss, it's a very precarious situation to be in. Yeah. I've been there, man. What were some of the things that you noticed you were not good at?
Well, mostly hiring and firing.
Okay.
As a nerd, I am not good at reading people. And I needed to promote someone who would be good at that. And I'd already stopped coding because I hired a bunch of people who were better than me.
Okay.
I stepped down to just do full-time customer service. I'm a great customer service rep.
Okay.
Not a manager of customer service, but I was a customer service rep and did that for maybe around 15 years.
Okay, so you ended up just being a customer service rep at your own company.
Yes.
Wow. So if somebody had a customer service issue, they would contact you on the phone or email?
Well, with some luck, they would contact someone else on phone first.
Okay.
I took that luxury for myself of not having to answer the phone.
Okay.
But they would generally email me because I was just Craig at Craigslist.org, easy to guess.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of time doing that kind of thing and got a lot of stuff done.
And you found yourself effective there.
Yeah, well, I saw, what I mostly saw was a lot of good. That is, people on the net are overwhelmingly good. The bad guys, bad actors, get a lot more press because sometimes mainstream media generates clicks by emphasizing the bad.
Yeah.
When I realized that, again, I'm a terrible manager, I'd already hired Jim, who's a good manager.
Jim, what's his
name?
name?
Buckmaster.
Jim Buckmaster, yeah.
Yeah. You'll see pictures of us together, and if it looks like we're at eye level, it's because I'm standing on a box.
Okay. He's a smaller guy?
He's a big, he's a foot taller than me.
He's a taller guy, okay.
So it makes for good,
there you are. You actually do have your box.
That's the old office space, and I was the one who suggested the gag there.
Yeah,
and kudos to your guys for being really good at pulling stuff up.
Craigslist.org. Yeah, man. When you guys were the first one to do .org, people were like, what is it? People thought it meant Oregon. People didn't even know where is it?
Well, it was an early use of it, and our approach was to be this minimal monetization thing, and there's no category for that online. So that caught the spirit and worked.
Yeah. And so missed connections, do you remember like the first missed connection that was ever put up or the first personal that was ever put up? I'm sure people ask you that a lot.
Don't remember much of that at all. And everything is a blur. And unfortunately, I wasn't smart enough to keep a lot of records.
Mm-hmm.
And so a lot is lost. Like from the Internet Archive in the Wayback Machine, I could see the first site that I put up was mid or late 96.
Mm-hmm.
And that was pretty good. And I evolved that kind of minimal style. Like right now, our site hasn't changed much in appearance in 30 years.
Why is that?
Well, I talked to a lot of people, and they want it simple, fast, effective. They want what you see is what you get. And we've heard from a lot of designers who want fancy.
Yeah.
And fancy may not be the answer for a lot of things.
Yeah.
Sometimes, you do see something which is impressive, fancy, and yet effective, but that seems to be the minority.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah. This is, what you want. What do you want?
Yeah.
You want heavy equipment outside of South Jersey. What do you want? You want biotech out of, in Mendocino. You want legal issues. You want ride shares. You want rodeo interests outside of Fort Worth. It's all right there,
Yeah.
You can put it together quick. Even someone who isn't technologically advanced could go here. And even the terms you have on there, it's like childcare, right? Pets, rants and raves. It's anything you could need is kind of right here.
Yeah. And that means the site is always fast. And
because it's not a lot of big background.
Yeah.
Wow.
And see, we've helped people in the tens of millions or more put food on the table. But
with
also,
jobs, you mean, and selling things.
Exactly.
Okay.
And advertise their services. But also, the site is so simple, we've shown tens or maybe hundreds of millions of Americans that the internet could be useful and reasonably easy to use. And that meant a lot of people who may have been hesitant to get on the net, they get on the net. And again, that's fairness for everyone. That's treating people like you want to be treated. And that ain't bad.
Yeah. Fairness, that's an important word, huh? It's important to you.
Very much so, because you try. Sometimes it's hard. There are often tough decisions to be made. And but Jim took over that for the company. And, maybe he's done a better job than I ever could. And I did make for a great customer service rep.